G'day guys, we are back again. Today we have got a 2017 Holden Astra with a 1.4 litre turbo engine. It's come in for a running very rough at idle, 42,000 Ks on the clock. Look, this has already pretty much been diagnosed already. I just wanted to run you through it and show you the captures that we got so you can understand what's going on in case you ever get a similar issue. But basically what happens is it's got a super rough idle. It accelerates okay. It doesn't appear to have that misfire on off idle, but we've got to the bottom of it and I'll show you what's going on. Alrighty, here is a relative compression test, and as you can see, relative compression in blue, ignition sync on number 1 in red, 1, 3, 4, 2. Number 4 has got very, very low compression. So then what we did next is we got out the pulse sensors and we connected up to intake, exhaust and crankcase. And what I'll do is I'll get that capture up on the screen and I'll show you what we found on that section. Alright guys, so here we go. We got rid of the intake and exhaust pulses because they weren't showing anything. Our green is our crankcase pulse, and as you can see we've got an anomaly every sort of fourth pulse there. And what you can see that this is pressure vacuum, pressure vacuum, pressure vacuum. And what you can see is when we get the anomaly on the crankcase, we look at what number 4 is doing, because number 4 has the low compression. If we go up, number 4 is on compression, so our compression is going into the crankcase. So obviously, being a direct injection engine, we know that these suffer from low speed pre-ignition, and that can cause issues with rings, even pistons. So we ended up getting a Borescope down into the cylinder, and I'll show you a little video of what's inside the cylinder and see what you can see there. So as you can see, those are the effects of low speed pre-ignition. And after speaking to a few colleagues at TAT, we had a chat about what's going on, and it's such a common problem. Brendan Soroson's got a great article on TAT. If you're a TAT member, if you jump on and search LSPI, even if you just put the abbreviation, it'll come up this article. Heaps of information about it. There's information all over Google about it. DDTSB also has an actual TSB for this model, for the Astra. As you can see, it's applicable to the GDI engines. It's obviously for all direct injection engines susceptible to it, not just these, but this is the damage that can occur. You got a bent rod there, rings, piston crown damage. So yeah, it's a huge problem. And look, if you're not sure how LSPI actually occurs, I'm just going to try and do a little raw diagram, sort of a high level thing, so you can sort of make sense of it and see what you think. Hopefully don't burn me too much with my crappy drawing explanation, but I'll give it a crack. Alright, yes guys, I'm freehanding this on the whiteboard that's in the office, so forgive me for my crappy drawing. I'm definitely not an artist. I don't plan on being one. So as you can see, we've got basically our cylinder represented here. Now I've got a piston, we've got our piston rings, we've got our valves, and we've got our injector, direct injection. So there's a couple of ways that this is supposed to happen, but basically with low speed pre-ignition. Firstly, one of the ways I think is that obviously we naturally have got a film of oil on our cylinders protecting it. So when we have our injector spraying fuel, some of it sticks to the actual oil film and it turns into a liquid. And as the piston's coming up, the actual oil is scraped up, or the mixture of oil and fuel is scraped up as it goes up. Due to the natural combustion temperatures and pressures, it automatically ignites before it gets to the top. So that's one way. The other way is that the oil supposedly gets stuck in the corners of here, just above the top ring, and as the natural velocity of the piston goes up, oil is flung around like oil droplets. fuel is mixed with that, and it auto ignites before it reaches the top. So the issue with this is that with either of these auto igniting before it gets to the top, when it gets to the top, the spark plug ignites the rest of the fuel mixture. So what happens is this one's ignited and this one's ignited, and they actually clash together. So the shock wave of those two combustion events obviously creates some damage down here, so usually around the crown of the piston or a couple of the rings. So from what we can see on our Borescope capture, it looks like that we've got an issue with our rings. Can't really tell on the top of the piston if there's anything going on, but clearly we've got an issue there. So that's my take on low speed pre-ignition. Hopefully that makes sense to you. If you want to add anything in the comments, please do. But that's that, and this engine's gonna have to come apart. Thanks for watching, guys.